Alrighty, now for the final of 4 mini bonus videos for the month of November. This month the topic chosen was a lightning round of previously unpicked topics from this past year. I'm doing 4 of them in a little condensed fashion, and they're all going to be in the Patreon feed, so go and check out the other 3 if you haven't already. This topic is the importance of media preservation. So we are in a very strange time right now where media, music, film, television all exist on shaky, unstable ground. It blows my mind that there are Netflix originals, movies and TV that are being removed for the platform without any real reason or warning. And if a TV show is a Netflix original, there's literally nowhere else you can legally watch that show, and that is crazy to me. How can something that took the work of hundreds of people for weeks, months, or years at a time just cease to exist indefinitely? When I was young, years before streaming, as I'm sure many of you will remember as well, every TV show or movie that got released would have a DVD or Blu-ray version that you could buy within months of the original release, or even VHS if you're going that far back. Movies on DVD would feature hours of bonus footage made especially for the committed buyers of the DVD, who would be rewarded with cast and crew interviews, the making of the production, and the fascinating deleted scenes. These days, if something is lucky enough to get a physical release, the extras are usually very disappointing if they offer any extras at all. I remember after each season of my favorite 2000s drama Lost aired on television, I knew that in a few months I could buy the DVD where I would get so into the bonus features, it entrenched me more into becoming a deep fan of the show. It is definitely easier to watch these shows on streaming these days, but there's something satisfying about owning the physical copy, knowing that I could watch it at any time with or without an internet connection. There's also something empowering about buying something once and owning it forever. The subscription service model I've never really liked. I get that with music streaming, it's kind of inevitable. There's no real way around it. You can't just, buy every album that you want to listen to. That's unsustainable. That wouldn't work for me these days, absolutely not. But even still, the idea of buying something, especially physical, and owning it forever it feels like that's becoming less and less of an option these days. And now with major retailers like Best Buy announcing that they will no longer be selling physical media of TV shows and movies, there's a huge reason for concern. An interesting and relevant to you folks, relevant example of physical media getting the short shrift is the Beatles Get Back physical release. You can tell that Disney just wanted people to subscribe to Disney Plus. That's how you watch it. That's what it is these days. That's how you watch the Beatles Get Back. And I would see this in the comments of my video on the Beatles Get Back. A lot of people, I'm guessing there were older people who were like, I don't want to subscribe to Disney Plus. I shouldn't have to do that. I just want to own the Beatles Get Back. I think Disney was pressured by many people, many fans into releasing a physical version. And you know what? It's fair. Like, if you don't want to subscribe to Disney Plus for months on end and just want to be able to watch the Beatles Get Back anytime you want, that should be allowed. There shouldn't be just one legal way of watching the Beatles Get Back. That is kind of strange. So months and months after it was originally aired, they hastily released a thrown together Blu-ray that received no advertising or fanfare. Did you see anything about it? Did you see it advertised? The Beatles Get Back now in physical release, now on Blu-ray? I didn't see it. The cover looks very last minute thrown together. It has 0 bonus features. That's what most people were upset by, the fact that it doesn't include anything extra at all. I know it's already a very long series, but still, come on, something. Even like a making of, like how Peter Jackson, and co got it all together. Like, how much would we have loved to see something like that? Sorry, so silly of me. How could I have possibly forgotten the 4 exclusive photo cards? Gosh, hours of fun with those. It is the most begrudging physical release I think I've ever seen, and really points to where movie and TV studios are placing their priorities these days. Another one that I know angers many fans is the issue of video games. More so in the past, video game consoles would make their system backwards compatible to the previous generations. It also allowed for people to play games from the previous generation that maybe they were too young for, which I would argue would only strengthen sales and brand allegiance. They're able to play more games on the one system, like everybody wins, right? But these days, particularly with Nintendo, the absence of a way to play major and popular games from old consoles is a real issue. Many have been ported to the Switch or are available as a subscription to Nintendo Online, but currently there's no way to play hugely popular titles from the past like most games from the GameCube or the Wii. Another thing that baffles me is that gaming companies like Nintendo, again, it's a love-hate relationship with Nintendo always, Nintendo don't release their beloved music to listeners who have a deep love for these compositions. Only for a small selection of games have they released an official soundtrack, and even then it's very hard to get. You have to get it from Japan or whatever. And it's always on CD. You can never buy it digitally. You can never, it's nothing on streaming from Nintendo. Thankfully, dedicated fans online have compiled these tracks together and they post them on YouTube in compilations, but it is wild that we need to rely on those methods and not the actual companies themselves releasing this music and probably making bank in the process. I just don't get it. Most people just want to own and celebrate these shows, movies, music, because they respect and love them as works of art that ought to take up space in the world. Notice I haven't used the word content as a catch-all term for this kind of mixed media, and that is because I hate the term and what it currently stands for. In my opinion, devaluing art, whatever that art may be, and labeling it as content gives license to studios to delete an entire television show or movie from existence because it is just that, content. It does not hold the worth of the art that came before it. It is as valuable as a lazily written blog post or reaction video on TikTok. If it's all described under the same term, why should we feel the need to preserve its place in culture and history? It's very hard as someone whose job most people describe as content creator to not use that term, but I implore you all to find another way around it. I only make videos. I call myself a video creator, I guess if you wrote songs and poems and made videos, it'd be very hard to be like, I'm this and this and this and this. It is easier to just say content, but content sucks. Don't use that term. Go even further, call it art. I'm not sure if what I do is art, but I would rather call it that than content, even if it makes me sound pretentious. So yeah, I think media preservation is going to be an ongoing problem, and I think it's something that we should all be paying attention to if we value people's art, which I'm sure you all do. Didn't mean to end the final video on a bit of a downer note, but yeah, that is the final of the 4 mini bonus videos for November from previously unchosen bonus video topics. I hope you enjoyed it. Go and watch the other ones, and bye.